or speak to a crew member.
So I've just arrived in Auckland. Tomorrow I'm going with my friends up north, so we will see the Northern Island a bit better, because last year when I came over I went to the Southern Island, so it'll be something new for me. And on Monday I'm going to Wellington, the capital of New Zealand.
Rotorua.
Rotorua.
No, Rotorua.
Rotorua, what's
Yeah.
in that?
Rotorua is like a city that is now terrible because there's lots of volcanic activities happening there. Yes.
Gavin, show yourself more.
Your head's too big, Adam, mate.
No. So I'm just visiting Aotearoa. I have to read because I can't remember these names. In Rotorua, in North Island of New Zealand. And this is a geothermal activity with an active volcano underneath. So I wouldn't really want to fall inside because probably it's like 90 degrees. So I guess I wouldn't probably survive more than a minute. And that's where you can see lots of craters with boiling water. So it's like an active volcano, I guess, under. I'm just visiting Waikiki thermal pools in the Northern Island of New Zealand, which is quite cool. Oh, so how are you feeling? Will we meet again next year? Will you come to Europe?
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Are you happy?
Sergio, repeat after me. Cześć.
Cześć.
Dzień dobry.
Say again.
Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry.
We just came to watch the sunset.
We went to that burger place, remember?
Yeah. Oh, no.
We are now in the Blue Lake, in still the northern island of New Zealand, and that's where we start our walking path towards the other lake. I'm now on the other side of a blue lake, and I'm just reading. It's called Tiki Tapu in Maori language, and the deepest point is 27.5 meters, so it's quite deep. And it was formed quite a long time ago, 13,500 years ago. And obviously it's named after its color, because it's usually blue, as you can see. Now, just on the other side of the blue lake, you can see the green lake, which obviously is named after its color. And in in the Maori language, it's called, I just need to read it, Rotokakaki. I think that's how you say it. And it's named after the shellfish, kakaki. So we're now heading to Auckland. Sergio is the driver, and Gavin. I'm just at Auckland Airport and I'm heading for a day trip to Wellington, the capital of New Zealand, in case any people confuse it with Auckland, which obviously is the largest. I'm flying in Jetstar and I'm hoping it's on time, and so far it is on time, because every experience I have with Jetstar is usually delayed, and especially in New Zealand I remember flights were quite not on time.
It's our pleasure to have you on board with us today, and we hope you have an enjoyable flight.
I just boarded the aircraft and actually the flight is on time, so I'm quite happy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wellington.
I've just arrived in Wellington. The flight was like maybe 40 minutes. So I have around 10 hours to explore the cities. I'm now at the Mount Victoria, just admiring beautiful panorama of Wellington City, which is obviously the capital of New Zealand. And as you can see, I'm quite lucky with the weather. And the city itself is not that big. As you can see, it's quite relatively small capital city compared to the others. And the location is quite nice, because obviously it's in the mountains. So I recommend here to come here for a day trip just to get a feeling of a quite interesting capital city. And definitely come to the Mount Victoria, so you can get a nice snapshot of the city and the harbour, as you can see in the background. So when you ask someone to take a picture for you and they are local Maori people, they take you around. I'm just about to visit Te Papa Tongarewa, Museum of New Zealand, and I've been told by many people that it's quite worth visiting, and if you want to learn about the Maori culture, about the country itself, its history and its national heritage, then you should definitely come here and visit. I'm just taking the cable car on the top of the other mountain next to Botanical Gardens, and you can see the nice view of the city. And it's quite cool because you can take an old tram up, which is a nice experience, and it only costs $9 return, so it's quite cheap. And yeah, it's another nice perspective of Wellington. Actually, you can walk up here as well, but the cable car experience is something nice. I've just visited the New Zealand Parliament and I've had a chance to go on a tour for 1 hour. However, you know, we are not allowed to take phones inside because there were still politicians having debates and things like that, so obviously that's for legal purposes. We were not allowed to take anything in. I'm just back at Wellington Airport and I'm heading back to Auckland, and I only stayed here for 8 hours, but in these 8 hours I visited the National, or it's actually Museum of New Zealand. I went on a cable car, I went to the Parliament building, and I went on a tour, and also went on the Mount Victoria. So I've seen quite a lot in a short time, and I've also made some shopping, which is good. If you are coming to New Zealand, or to Wellington, you should definitely come here for 2 days. Otherwise, you won't really get a chance to experience everything properly, because there's so many things around Wellington that you can do and see. Arrived back in Auckland, and that's my last evening here, so I'll be back here in a couple of hours. I'm just about to leave Auckland, and I had a really great trip. It's obviously not finished yet because I'll be spending the next 35 hours on the plane, so it'll be quite exciting, especially the longest flight from Perth to Heathrow.
Air New Zealand Flight 46 to Rotorua is ready to depart. Air New Zealand Flight 103 to Sydney is now boarding.
So pay attention for the next few minutes to learn the features of your Qantas Boeing 737, and we'll show you just how far and wide our Spirit roams.
Welcome to Melbourne, everyone. The local time here is 11:54 AM on Tuesday the 15th of October.
I'm just traveling to Singapore as my flight was cancelled via Perth, so I'm very devastated as I was meant to fly on one of the world's longest flights, so I'm not really happy, but well, what can I do? So next stop, Singapore.
Signs are now being switched off for landing. All passengers and crew must now be seated with seatbelts firmly fastened.
I've just checked in for my flight to London Heathrow, and I'm flying on Qantas again. I'm going 380, which is quite always an exciting experience. So yeah, good night. I've just arrived at London Heathrow and I'm tired, but I'm not jet lagged, which is good.